We would
You
never
would be
have.
like-
We would never have. It just wouldn't happen.
We were on the phone and I made a flirty comment about us being intimate. She laughed like she normally would, but then said she's always thinking about her celebrity crush sex. At first, I wasn't sure she was joking, but then she kept going on. She talked about being obsessed with this celebrity, fantasizing about them, and even feeling deprived when she hasn't watched their show in a while.
We're being we're like PG about it. This girl doesn't just have a celebrity
We
crush.
are being PG. No. So she does not get a pass. She doesn't get a pass for this one.
Yeah, because we're talking about like an existing human. It's not like a character, right? If I had a doctor fantasy or a teacher fan, it's not like that's a broad kind of like character.
So now I'm wondering, am I making too much out of this, or did she really cross the line?
All right, welcome back to another episode of Love for Debate. We're glad to be back with you. So we took a little week hiatus. Okay, had a lot going on. All right, kids and gymnastics and traveling and just sometimes just tired. Okay,
Needed a break.
Yeah. So, but we're back and we'll be back on track. In the meantime, please hit that like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and listening to our stories. We're going to read a story and then we're going to delegate. We're going to debate and see who's right, see who's wrong between a man and a woman. Hopefully try to help people out in their relationships. In the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button. And without further ado, going to have Karusha read our first story for the day. If you would like to proceed, let's get to it. All right.
I want to start by saying I'm really not a jealous person. My girlfriend has celebrity crushes, and that's never bothered me. We haven't seen each other in a while, so obviously we've been missing each other. We were on the phone, and I made a flirty comment about us being intimate. She laughed like she normally would, but then said she's always thinking about her celebrity crush sexually. At first, I wasn't sure she was joking, but then she kept going on. She talked about being obsessed with this celebrity, fantasizing about them, and even feeling deprived when she hasn't watched their show in a while. I told her the conversation was making me uncomfortable. Her response was basically, I think about you too sometimes. That honestly made it worse. She apologized when she realized I was upset, but we ended up getting off of the phone. Later, she was upset with me for not wanting to talk because she'd already had a hard weekend. When I explained again why the conversation bothered me, she got defensive and told me I was being weird about a celebrity crush. But that's not really my issue. I don't care that she has a crush. It was hearing her talk sexually about someone else immediately after I tried to have an intimate moment with her, and then feeling like my discomfort was dismissed. So now I'm wondering, am I making too much out of this, or did she really cross the line? Ooh, celebrity crushes.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. I can't stand the whole celebrity crush thing. I think it's cute when you're like 16 to maybe 25.
Yeah, when you're like loving Aaron Carter and
even if you're a Chris Brown, Usher fan. Listen, like I get it. I'm gonna be I'll try to be a little bit I'll try to be a little objective about this, but like personally, I can't, like for me, and I think that just for me, I guess it goes to show what I would want in my relationship. Not everybody's the same. Some people are fine with it. Obviously, we see all the funny TikToks and reels about like the girl who likes the Chris Brown, and then the guy's dressing up as Chris Brown. He's like, we got Chris Brown at home.
Yes.
Right? Like that's funny to me because
it's
it's really funny to me. Okay. But I also think there's like a maturity aspect to this. And I definitely am. I'm not with the whole celebrity crush thing. I think it's, again, it's cute, 16 to 25. And this is me personally. There are guys out there who probably don't mind that that their girl has some sort of celebrity crush. And I guess maybe the crush isn't the biggest part. Obviously, when we watch things, there's definitely people you find like very attractive, very handsome. Obviously, so that, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And we talk about it. I mean, I don't think there's any insecurity there.
No, not at
if
all.
it gets to a weird, like intimate place, yeah, maybe a little bit too far for me. Mm-hmm. I can't speak to her, and I don't think it's about, is it crossing a boundary? For him it is. Like it's crossing his boundary.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
There's also a world where it's like, has she taking the perspective is it if he did the same thing to her, right? Like if he fantasized about Sydney Sweeney or something, and then it was like that's who he was like actually visualizing intimately as well. How would she feel about that? That's a good angle to kind of like think about it from.
That's a really good one.
At least for her, because sometimes at least she puts you in perspective. Now, if there's a world where she doesn't care, if she was like, I mean, I wouldn't care if you thought about her, you know, intimately, or even when I spoke intimately with you, then I just think that they're not sexually compatible at that point. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you absolutely need to know like your boundaries, right? We just watched the movie, The Invitation or The Invited.
The Invite.
The Invite.
Yeah.
Right. And that was kind of the
So
thing. Right?
good.
Such a good movie, right? Seth Rogen and Edward Norton, Penelope Cruz, and I don't remember the other name. But
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah. So kind of the same concept, right? Where it's like, what is our boundaries? And those are definitely things to discuss. In a normal world, I would say, yeah, like that is crossing a boundary. At the end of the day, celebrity or not, you are fantasizing about somebody else. I do find that to be a problem in a relationship, but maybe not every relationship, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there is a relationship where it's like, I don't care if you like I'm like open relationships, right? Like there's a, and we can dive deep into her and why she is that way, but he wants to know on his end, is she crossing a boundary? She's crossing your boundary, and that's okay. You're allowed to have those boundaries, and you shouldn't be made to feel ashamed about it. Obviously, I think we'd all probably have an issue. I think a lot of us would have an issue with it. I can probably name a handful of guys, though, that probably wouldn't care. I know that sounds odd, but I think that it just depends on the type of person you are.
Yeah.
So I personally hate the whole celebrity crush thing, because for me, I get it. It's like this unobtainable aspect to it. But, you know, I've seen regular girls get picked up by celebrities. And so there's this factor of how unobtainable is it? And should that matter, right? Should it matter if you went to a Drake concert, like maybe he's not obtainable, but maybe I'll end up at the same restaurant at some point or something. And what if he tries to hit on you? Do I have to worry about that? I know that sounds crazy, and people are going to say like, oh, like that, you sound silly, but it's like, I don't think in reality maybe you don't have to worry about it, but mentally there's something there where it says like, at the end of the day, a celebrity or not, they're human beings. You are fantasizing about another man. For me, that's a red flag. Mm-hmm. I have a problem with that. I don't care if the celebrity's is attainable or not. If you want to have as an adult woman or man, I think the celebrity crush is fairly immature. I just think it's an immature thing. It's probably just like a personal thing I have. No, I don't have any like trauma from a celebrity. Okay. I just think that I wouldn't do it to my girl. I don't have celebrity crushes, and I don't want my girl to have that. I want to be I want to be everything to my girl. I want to be the most attractive. I want to be who she's into sexually. I want to be who she wants to be around. Sure, she might see a guy on TV who's, attractive and who may look different than me or whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, what if like the person you're attracted to, like as a celebrity, and I'm just rambling at this point, but what if the person you're attracted to as a celebrity is a different looking person than me? And now like I got to worry about like if that's your type as well.
Then it's going to like create some insecurity, because if that is...
What if I'm like a white blonde haired guy and you're attracted to like, I don't know, you're attracted to like Idris Elba, and it's like, well, that's like a tall black man. You know what I mean?
Completely
like,
different.
Wait, do I have to worry about tall British black man? I don't know. Like, and it's just creating that insecurity. I especially in her case, I'm probably not even addressing exactly, because like she's like intimately wanting.
Yeah. And like literally fantasizing about it.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. That's a little too far for me. And I do think that that's definitely an issue. And I don't think a guy is weird for, or even a girl, if that happened to a girl. I don't think that's a weird thing for a girl or a guy to be kind of taken back by and having an issue with. Yeah. It's not an insecurity thing. That's just respect 101. And she's allowed to be attractive and have some intimate feelings towards people. But in that case, if that's bothering you and passes a boundary, then it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's not gonna work for me.
I was actually just about to ask you. No, you're good. I was just about to ask you that as well because, like, obviously, like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean your attraction to like other people go away. Like when you think about it, right?
Right.
So yeah, I guess like I was just like more so curious to know when it comes to that aspect. Do you think that it's one of those things like it's better left unsaid? Like not to talk about it or bring it up?
I think it's better left. I think you should know your partner and how they feel about it. If I knew for a fact that you had an issue with me thinking, I don't know, that I found, I'm trying to think of somebody that I found Beyonce incredibly beautiful. You know, and she's incredibly beautiful. Right? I don't have a huge crush on Beyonce. I'm trying to think of somebody that like I do find like fairly attractive. I don't know. I had a huge crush on Megan Good growing up, right? Like, but if I knew you had an issue with that, and I knew that like talking about it, or even maybe even watching things with her, and it was like you're a little sensitive to it. Like I would not say anything.
Yeah.
Like if I knew that you were a little bit more sensitive to like other pretty women, I just wouldn't say anything. I think you're not like you're withholding the truth. It's just like a respect thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't just walk, like we don't walk. If I did that, it's like, oh, like every girl we walk past that I found attractive, like, oh, she's hot. Like, oh, I'd sleep with her. And it's like, we don't do that on a daily.
Right. Of course.
You're walking in Publix and you see other girls that are attractive. You don't just tell your girl. It's not like you're withholding stuff. It's just like a respect level. It's a courtesy level. And at the end of the day, and this is why I do find like, I do think physical attraction is really, really important. And this is why, and sometimes you have to, because like the physical attraction, you want to be physically attracted to your person so that even if you are attracted to you guys are having a bad day or you're having a fight and an argument, it's like, well, like, and at least I know that like you still find me like physically attractive, because if like I'm ugly, if I'm ugly and you're mad at me and have a bad day, now I really got to worry about like the hot guy in the jig, you know what I mean? And I don't want to worry about that. You know what I mean? It's like I want to feel comfort, even that if we having a bad day or something like that, I ain't gonna worry about the dude that jig, because at least you coming back home to a hot guy, regardless if you're mad at him or not.
Of
right?
course.
And not that I'm a hot guy, I'm just saying like somebody that you're immediately attracted to, So Jesus. So yeah, I mean, I think physical attraction, that's why I think physical attraction is really important. And physical attraction in terms of like your type. And it may not always happen that way, right? Like you might work with somebody who you're not immediately physically attracted to, and then you kind of fall for their personality.
Yeah, like over time.
Yeah. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think physical attraction is important. And over time, I think it is, because I want to feel... Yeah, and also I think you just get to a place, like with you, like I'm incredibly attracted to you. And obviously I see different looking women other than you who don't look like you, who I find attractive as well. And they're not even, like, they might be a darker skinned girl or a white girl, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not even what you explicitly look like. But I know that I'm like extremely physically attracted to you. So even if I see another attractive girl, like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but I still like, I got a hot ass girlfriend.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
I think that all the time too.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's just me. Everybody ain't got to be that way, but I think that all the time. That girls are hot. My girl's hot. My girl's hotter. She's the hottest girl to me. And I would love my partner to feel that way too. Even if it's not a physical thing. I want to be the hottest person to you in all aspects, the most attractive person to you. I don't ever want to have a situation where you're lusting after a celebrity. That's insane to me.
It is crazy.
And I don't think I'm crazy for saying that.
No, because I mean, like, we align in that.
Yeah.
I think I honestly don't even ever remember really having a celebrity crush besides the women. But besides that, there's never been like, like how the women are like really into
get you a girl that's attracted to the women celebrity.
And like exactly.
That's the real key.
Now the women.
That's the real key.
But yeah, like, I've had friends who have been like into like Brad Pitt and like Chris Brown. Oh God. Like, I feel like all the women are like really into him. But even I was just like, I don't know, even I find it to be like a bit like, I don't want to judge and like because here's the thing.
I'm a judge.
He
I find solace in my girl
hardcore.
not fanning out over celebrities.
Yeah.
There's like
okay,
sucks for y'all.
But I do see what you're saying though, because we have seen those like Facebook posts. We've seen those like, you know, where they literally like that is if Chris Brown walked by, they would throw themselves at them. So like I feel like that's like one thing.
I mean, even worse, we've seen couples breaking up over this Usher and Chris Brown concert, or even just a Chris Brown concert because the girl gets called on stage and then she's like overly sexual with Chris Brown. Yeah, I don't want a girl that's possible with. It's
not classy.
Yeah.
Like when you are in a relationship, no, absolutely, it's definitely not classy.
Yeah.
But I did a little research on it because I know like where you stand, and I stand with you, honestly. But they do say that it is normal to have celebrity crushes. Oh, can you believe it?
I think we're being like, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna let you go.
No, you're good.
But I think we're being like PG about it. This girl doesn't just have a celebrity crush.
We are being PG.
Yeah.
No.
Like we're giving her grace on something that she's doing way worse than just like a
she's
crush.
She's fantasizing.
You can have a crush. Even if you were to say like, I do find Usher attractive, or I do find, you know, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Obviously the Chris Brown. Well, you like the Benjamin, Don Benjamin?
Don Benjamin? Yeah. Okay, that's a beautiful man.
Right, exactly. So somebody like him, right? It's like, I know that, like, I lost my train of thought. I was saying that, see, now I'm thinking about you finding him attractive. No, I'm just playing. I'm totally joking.
No, because I did bring up the fact that, like, celebrity crushes are normal. But...
Yes. Okay. Yes. I have no problem. That is a really handsome guy. If you didn't find him attractive, I just think you were lying to me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'd rather you just be real. Like, the guy's handsome. I can admit that he's a handsome guy. Light skin, blue, green eye, whatever the hell he is. Like, come on, what are we talking about right now? Be honest about it. You ain't got to lie to me, because now I'm just going to think that you're not being honest about it. And it's not like you bring it up. It's just that I know that, you know, you've said something about it before. He's been on a couple of movies we watched. Yeah. But if you were like thinking about him sexually or intimately, that's a different world. Now even for me, that's definitely, for me, that's a problem. That's way worse than just like, hey, he's a handsome guy, I kind of got a little crush on him. Yeah. Whatever. I'm cool with crushes, even though crushes are kind of silly to me. Like, I don't have crushes on. We can admit when somebody's attractive and more attractive, or maybe even our type, right? There's definitely like, you know, it's funny because any girl that I find attractive that's my type, that's a celebrity, usually kind of just resembles you, right? Like, if I were to say like Meghan Markle, right? It'd just be like, well, kind of look like you, right?
I hear that one a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, you're my type anyways, but yeah, going I don't think about them. That's even weird. Like, I don't think about a celebrity intimately though, because they're just they're just they're not that they're unobtainable in a sense that like maybe if there was a world where I'm a celebrity I couldn't pull them or something. It's just like, I don't know, they're just that's not a thing for me.
It's not a thought in my mind too, especially because like, I mean, they're like human, you know what I mean? So it's like,
did he say who the celebrity is?
No, he didn't. I was like really wanting to know.
See, if it's like Brad Pitt, you gotta like walk in there with some like Achilles armor on. You know what I mean? Like you gotta play it up. No, I'm just go ahead.
No, yeah, I was really curious though. Okay, but do we think that this is like different than when someone has like a different fantasy? Like, think like on the corn side of things.
I think,
is this different or?
Yeah, because we're talking about like an existing human. It's not like a character, right?
Okay.
Like if I had a doctor fantasy or a teacher fantasy, it's not like that. Like, that's a broad kind of like character. Now, if you
had a doctor fantasy, you will never see the doctor again.
It's like, no, I can't go to the hospital.
It's like, nope, you can't. No. You got an emergency going on. I'm your doctor.
No more education for you. Yeah, it's like, you know, if I have a doctor, like a doctor is a character that you could play, even if it was like more specific, like Batman or Superman, which is funny, but it's like, it's like you didn't say Henry Cavill, you just said like you have a Superman thing. I'll put a cape on.
Yeah.
I'll put on some red tights. I got like I'm down
not the
for
red
that.
tights.
I'm down for the fantasy. I do think it's different though. Now we're talking about real existing human beings who I can attribute like actual things to, right? Like from like their talents and their looks and their actual. Yeah, I think that. I think it's like explicitly different. For
And then
sure.
you have the people who like DM them, comment, like all their things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So she does not get a pass. She doesn't get a pass for this one.
She doesn't get a pass from me in terms of. First of all, for her to not even let's like I'm giving her grace, but like let's be realistic. I'm gonna stop giving her grace. First and foremost, that
No
like
grace.
that you know, unless she's like super young, and maybe that's the case. This is ridiculous. Like if you're gonna fantasize that hard about a celebrity, I don't even know how to satisfy that urge, right? Like. I mean, I don't even know what gets you out of that unless you just find somebody who resembles the celebrity. Like maybe you need to be finding somebody who resembles the celebrity, or maybe I don't know if she's not attractive enough to find this. I mean, I guess that's a thing too, where it's like if she's attracted to, I don't know, Brad Pitt. Let's just call it. I don't know. Gotta keep blanking on people. If she's just attracted to Brad Pitt, it's like, okay, but maybe she's not attractive enough for Brad Pitt. Like he wouldn't go after, like obviously his ex is Angelina Jolie. If she don't look like her or you know, a J-Lo or something like that for Ben Affleck, then I mean, maybe obviously that he's not attainable. So maybe she can't find that type for her. Because you know what I mean? Like I don't know what she looks like, and I hate to be shallow, but obviously I'm going to be realistic.
Yeah.
So the problem is I don't know what the fix is for her. Fortunately, the question didn't come from her. It didn't come from him. So I ain't got to fix her. I don't know what that shit is, but I'm definitely not for my girl being that way. I think it shows a little bit of immaturity, and it's okay to be immature if you're in your 20s. If we're like 30 plus and we are fanning out over people, that's your prerogative, but don't be surprised when like guys have an issue with that. Because most guys are going to have an issue with that. I know we made jokes and stuff. Like I was watching like Mark Lamont Hill, and he was talking about how like he don't let his girl go. His wife went to the Usher concert, and he was like, "You ain't feeding her no cherries." Like I know we make jokes, but there's a world where it's like, no, you've passed the line. This is now maybe even cheating at this point, right? Where it's like you're doing something that I'd be upset with another man,
right?
And if we were to talk, you know, I wouldn't go as far to say fantasizing about another man is cheating per se, because I can't stop the thoughts that are in your head. But yeah, if you can't contain that and then you're bringing it up to me, you're talking to me about it, like your first question was, yeah, there's something like that's not clicking. I don't know if you think it's cute or funny or whatever, but any man's gonna probably have a problem with that unless they're down for like open relationship or unless they're just like super. Like the most secure man on earth. Good luck finding that guy.
Yeah.
Good luck finding Mr. Secure, man. Because I promise you, even those celebrities, probably some of the most insecure people.
Yes. I was gonna say there's probably not someone who is like fully secure.
Yeah. No, listen. I've seen people in open relationships on both ends.
Yeah.
Absolutely secure.
Just really?
Yeah, like, you know, I like to watch the streamer Destiny sometimes. He is super open.
Okay.
He was married, open relationship, doesn't care because he's so busy. He talks about just being really busy and he feels like it's unfair for his girl to be open. And he's like bi. So he goes both ways and he's like open too. So like people in that world, like they're fluid. They don't care. They're like cool with it. You know, we come back together and we do our thing. And that same thing with the movie where it's like those were swingers.
Yeah.
Swingers tend to be pretty open.
Pretty secure.
Yeah, pretty secure. But I do think even in those instances, I think they all still have like boundaries.
They do.
I think there's still rules to the game.
For sure.
Yeah, you can't just go sleep around. Like we still gotta, you know.
Yeah, communication, boundaries, that's important.
But
absolutely.
Obviously swingers and open relationships, there's reason those are niche things. There's a reason those are very like.
Yeah, because it's definitely not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. It's probably like the most normal human nature. And maybe it is, and maybe society has taught us differently and we just psychologically can't get over it. Maybe like originally we were totally fine with open relationships. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like men have been.
I feel like that theory might be correct and that society has just taught us like to only like want one person to, and maybe there's some
It's a good
religious
question.
aspects
It's-
to it
it's-
as
it's a-
well.
No,
It's
you're
so-
right.
you
No,
know what I
that's
mean?
true. That's true.
I think that that's what it is. Yeah, deep thought.
I think both can be true.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's not an entirely, like, I don't know if you're born, you wake up and you're like one woman, one man, right? I don't know if it's entirely human nature. I do think people, humans in general, can get fairly possessive over things that are theirs, and then there's ego involved. I don't know if the ego develops because of society or if ego is innate. Probably because ego at the end of the day is probably where all this stems from.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're insecure because your ego says, like, she's mine, he's mine, nobody else should touch them, right? And then obviously you have all the different things, whether it's STDs and getting pregnant by somebody else, but like removing all of that, let's use a world where none of that exists. Are we like, what's the real reason you're upset? It's because you feel like you own your person, right?
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but it's like, you're mine.
Yeah.
And it's ownership. It's like,
It is.
no one else should touch you. There's like a loyalty aspect to it. And I don't know if that was innate. I do know, and I've studied even like I've studied, hunter-gatherer times where the women were not tied down to one man. Most of everything was like the women. This was before farming came along. The women actually probably were more promiscuous than the men because they weren't tied down like to one man. They would have children and they could move, they kind of moved a little bit more fluidly. And I don't know if the men had an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't this hierarchy of like women, these are women gender role. Like there wasn't gender roles.
That's so interesting.
It's just really interesting to study how gender roles actually really came about. Because initially, hunting and gathering, they tell you all the time, and this is history lesson. They tell you all the time that like the men were the hunters and the women were the gatherers. That's not entirely true. Women provided a lot of the food and did the hunting. The men just happened to be like stronger so they could carry the food back. Women actually provided more food than the men because hunting was a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Women picked food, grew food, and hunted. So they were providing like 70% of the food.
Okay.
So there was no like men control.
Yeah.
Men praised women. Women were like, if you look at old drawings from that time, women were like deities. Women were goddesses.
Oh.
Yeah. Cleopatra, like all of these they were goddesses. Though there was no like men are in control. That wasn't until farming came along, and when farming came along, is when possession started to happen because you wanted to keep your land and your animals in the family.
Yeah.
And then they would move far away from home, and so the women didn't really know anybody else. And so the women stayed home, they took care of the kids, the men grew the crops, and that's really where gender roles started to kind of come into play. Prior to that, did not exist. So sometimes I consider, sometimes I ponder this ego and this gender role and these, these sex in totality, how it really came to be.
Yeah.
When is it human nature, or is it just like originally when men and women were born and there was like absolutely no society to tell you what is good and what is bad or what is right and what is wrong, when there was no this like morality, what was actually human nature.
Yeah.
And so that's it's interesting.
It is
it's really interesting because we're talking about obviously like now being a swinger is a niche thing, but they was swinging back in the day. They was swinging. The original humans was swinging, y'all.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a, what's the word? That wasn't a not niche thing, but it wasn't taboo.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That was normal.
That was normal life.
Women were not tied down to one family.
Yeah.
There was no role there for women.
And we are clearly much more powerful than what they have made us think.
It's really interesting. I advise anybody to look in the history of like gender roles, how they came to be, how the patriarchy came to be. That was not original. The patriarchy was not originally in society. That wasn't until farming came along. and it kind of changed everything. And that was all based on just keeping things in the family, passing down wealth, generational wealth, things of that nature. Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. That was a great lesson.
Yeah.
Great
sorry.
history lesson.
Got off on a different subject, but
that
okay.
was fabulous.
Let's get back to
anything else you want to like add? Because what I kind of want to discuss next is just the comment that she made, that she threw in the whole, like, I think about you too sometimes. I
mean, what are we talking about right now? Do we have to even, like, for her to not know that's a problem in a relationship, just lets me know she's the problem.
Yeah.
There's no world where that's like even if you felt that way, you don't say that out loud.
Yeah.
And if you're that
so
blunt,
immature.
like either you don't know your partner, you don't know your man, or you don't care. And in that sense, y'all aren't compatible.
Yeah.
There are partners that probably wouldn't care. Go join those clubs, but make sure you can take what you dish out.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But
I just find it to be like bizarre. Like if you say something sexual to me and then I'm like, oh, I think about Don Benjamin all the time.
We would never have sex.
Like,
we would never have sex. It just wouldn't happen.
It's just like such a weird, like.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Society has gotten to me. My ego is way too big for that. Way too big for that.
Yeah. It's just like, how does that like come to mind? It's just, it's such an immature way of thinking. And even if that was like a weird, like, thought, an urge, like you felt the urge to say it, like, don't act on that.
Well, the crazy part about it is, like, you can't stop her from, like, who sexually turned her on. That's the hard part about this. That's true.
And you also can't stop her from having the thoughts. The brain just does its own thing, you know?
Yeah, because he's easy. I could just say, hey, bro, find you a girl that doesn't fantasize about other women. I mean, about other men. Women are fine. They can fantasize. I'm a double standard guy, okay?
He is.
But... you know, and obviously I'm not super quick to tell people to break up. This girl just sounds like she just has no clue, no read the room skills whatsoever.
No.
You just don't say that to a guy. Maybe she's new to relationships. And again, you know, so I could tell him all day, hey, like, yes, you're allowed to have boundaries. And like you were asking me, do I have anything left to say? Yes, men, if your girl has celebrity crushes and or it takes it further than that, you have every right to feel a way about that. I don't care what society has taught you. I don't care if you're made to feel silly about it. This is your girl who is, you know, or expressing some sort of, you know, attraction to another man. And for some of you, if that's off limits to you, you are entitled to feel that way. And either you have that conversation with your partner and continue on with your partner, or you just find a girl who doesn't fan out over celebrities. I think that's a maturity thing personally.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a character trait that the girl will have for years and years and years to come. If she does, then to me that says she's immature. Because I just, and maybe I'm wrong, could be just my judgment could be off, but I don't feel like that is a mature thing to have. I get it. So I mean, I don't know, man. I used to be an engineer. I'm still an engineer, but I used to engineer for very high profile celebrities. And those people are very fucking normal. Okay. Like they have the same weird habits and the same, you know, insecurities and the same doubts and guilts and
same emotions as we do. They're not robots.
I've sat in rooms with some of your favorite celebrities, very normal, very chill. I get the whole TV and that's something to deep dive into. Like, what about the celebrity aspect makes people more attractive? Because obviously, like, it's the likability factor. Because I mean, there's been unattractive people who are like actors and have people that fan out over them, right? So it's not just a physical attraction thing, right?
It could definitely be more like personality, the characters that they play if they're like actors and actresses. I also, and I do think that maybe a lot of times that's what it is. It's the character that they portrayed. Because
think so?
I think so. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, you know, if your thing is like, you know, like a badass like type of, you know, villain, right? Like, obviously, you know that actor is nothing like what he portrayed in the movie. But the like, okay, for example, all right.
You want to call somebody out?
No.
Go ahead.
The show Good Girls, if anybody remembers that, it's it was on Netflix. I can't remember his name, but the guy that the main character got wrapped up in and she started like having an affair with. He's not like the hottest guy, but the character that he played was very like sexy and like, and I could see like, I didn't have a crush over him,
but you could see the appeal.
The character in there, I was thinking like, oh God, like I could see why like she is, you know, going after him. He was so different from the husband, but like he was like kind of like a bad guy. Like he, you know, he got her into some things that like she shouldn't have been in as a mom and a wife. Yeah. But I could see that character. I could see like women being drawn to that. It's just like a little sexy character. And I think that sometimes people forget that is not who they are in real life.
That's true too, for sure. Yeah, I mean,
that's just like one example. I don't think that applies to like everybody, obviously, who has celebrity crushes.
Yeah, because I've seen that about the. I remember when what's his name stepped on the scene. The what's the guy that plays? He plays in not the Avengers, but one of those side groups from Marvel. The one that's
is it like Jason Momoa?
No, I think Jason Momoa is an attractive guy.
I don't know anything about any of these.
No, the one that you would know him. He's a Jurassic Park guy. Plays in Jurassic Park, but he also plays in the Guardians of the Galaxy. The white guy. What's his name? Can't think of it. The main guy, Star-Lord. I don't know his name. I don't know. Sorry, I'm bad with
I'm lost. Yeah, is it a Hemsworth guy?
No. Hemsworth is a handsome guy. He dates Sanaa Lathan, who plays Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. Matter of fact, him and Hemsworth kind of have a bit of a little bit of tension because like obviously Chris Hemsworth's the Thor, and like they're around each other, and so he has a little bit of like jealousy about him. So he talks a bunch of trash about him. It's really funny. Anyways, a lot of people have a Chris. It's Chris something. But a lot of people have a crush on that guy, and I'm like, dude, I went to school with guys that look like him. He looks like a regular dude.
Some of them do. They look like a regular average.
Guy. Yeah, it's like I got a homie that looks like that guy. You know what I mean? But it's like the character, and then so I think there's something about like the talent of the person, maybe that's a little bit more attractive or whatever. But I don't know. It's celebrity guys, they are regular people. I get Chris Brown can, all over I get that. It's a sexy thing, okay? But also, I mean, we see how he is with some of the girls, right? So it's like, not a bad way. I'm a Chris Brown fan, okay?
And even then, sometimes women are attracted to that.
No, that's true too.
It's frightening.
But it's like, these are regular people, guys. Yep. I don't know. But I think the maturity part of you, when you get older, you get that part. Like, you understand that. At 20, you may not, they're a god to you, right? But at 35, it's like, nah, I've seen all the news stories and headlines about that guy. I think that's where the maturity aspect comes in. So
absolutely.
That's all I got there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, honestly, you hit all of my key points. You hit them all in your first reaction. So I was just
sorry, I was just rambling.
Let them fire away.
Yeah, I just got all our thoughts out on top of my head. Okay, no. So I mean, yes, and I think again, his biggest question was like, did she cross the boundary? She crossed your boundary, and you are allowed to have that boundary. You're allowed to have any boundary you want. Make sure you find the girl that either respects those boundaries, or if they cross that boundary, you can have the conversation and communicate with them about that. It's hard to come back from my girl's fantasizing about another man. That's a hard thing to come back from. Because how do you
stop that? That like it's the sexual do you ever stop your sexual fantasies? I mean, like maybe you can grow out of it.
Yeah, I've definitely had like weird ones from in my 20s, and not weird ones, but like just the not weird ones. I've definitely had like fantasies in my 20s that I don't have now. Like, I don't know. It just, I guess a lot of y'all's fantasies too can come true, and then you realize they ain't not as cracked up to be, or you're not equipped for some of those fantasies.
Oh, yes.
Some of y'all ain't equipped for y'all's fantasies, okay? Some of y'all ain't built for some of the fantasies y'all got.
The fantasies sound nice, and then you get into them, and then you're like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay.
That's all I got.
I love it. This was fun.
Yeah. Okay. If you got any input, we'd love to hear it. tell us your celebrity crush.
Yes.
And tell us if you know how you feel about the story and some of our advice. We'd love to hear back from you. Maybe you totally disagree and think celebrity crushes are fine. Maybe you think celebrity intimacy or some sort of fantasy about it is totally fine. I don't know. You shouldn't tell your partner that. And honestly, when you get to a certain age, I think you just don't have that anymore. But find you a partner that you fantasize about.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great way to end it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by. This is Love Before Debate. I am Breeze.
Karushi.
You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.